Yeah, it is. We're running out of games, and all these games are really important. And watching them on the weekend, they were, it was a nail biter, and they're in pretty good form. So it's going to be a great game. MCG, big crowd, traditional rivals and arch enemies. So it'll be a great game. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think today's session will really show who is available to come back, and I suppose that will determine whether some of those kids hold their spot. But really pleased with Bell and Casbolton. Dale had 4 possessions in a sort of 25 minutes and kicked a goal, which is great for his confidence as well. Robbo will do some work today, just depending on how he goes, and Matthew will be an assess after training, so he'll do some work. But we'll have to assess how he pulls up. It's some of these niggles and things are sort of pretty much a you could say just a session by session, not game by game, but session by session assessment to see where they've gone and how they've pulled up and can we push on. Now I'd say he's more of a likely than unlikely, but touch wood if I say that, it usually goes the other way. So let's change. Well, Warnock comes back from suspension, which is great, so he'll be available. And Zach did some work on Monday, so today's pretty important for him. Monday was pretty light, 15, 20 minutes, all about skill. So really today will be a bit more dynamic and see how he responds. I think he's been in fairly good form, Zach, so if he's available, he'll probably come back. Warnock, that will depend, I suppose, on Cruiser. So we'll have a good conversation in regards to that and whether we go and put Matthew in there as well. Yeah, we'll have a look. Oh, he is. He's played some really good footy at this football club over the last year and a half. So to lose him now for the rest of the year is disappointing, but it'll give someone an opportunity to come in and play, or some of the players that are playing to really get some continuity and I suppose more importantly in that back six is about a bit of cohesion. We haven't sort of had that from our back line or even our front 50 a bit at times. It's been sort of very, not disjointed, but players haven't got to know who's beside them and some of the things that they do. And most of the teams that have had success is about their availability, and especially in the back six. I think that's really important to make sure that you keep your sort of back 6, 7 together, and they get real confidence from that. We went back, and 2002, I think, was the last time that we had a season like this. So yeah, it's been one of those things. I think it's 65% of our injuries have come from collision. So we haven't had a heap of soft tissue. It's sort of this part of the year you start to get a few, but some other clubs have had soft tissue. We sort of haven't had a lot of soft tissue. We've had more collision injuries. So that's sometimes just a bit of a luck. And the season's still alive and kicking, and we just know with 6 weeks to go, if we can get I suppose momentum into the season, which we haven't had, we could become very dangerous. But until we do that and get consistency on field to get the momentum with wins, it's something that we're chasing. I think last week wasn't our prettiest performance, but I thought the second half was a big step in the right direction. Our ball use was a bit of a concern in the first half, and our, I suppose, team defence, and sometimes they go hand in glove. So they're things that we can change. And our back 50 stoppages, they had 7 shots from back 50 stoppages, which usually we're trying to aim for 9 shots from stoppages a week, 8 or 9, and they virtually had 7 in one part of the ground, which is really disappointing. So we can fix that regardless of the personnel that we bring in. So that's something that we're working on as well. Yeah, I think so. I think when you see some of the players that have played senior football or team leaders or emerging leaders of your football club, I think that gives players around them some real confidence. Yeah, I hope so. That was, he just, it was a bit tight, getting close to the game, and he's missed so much football. It's something that we really sat down and spoke about, making sure that Jared was right to play, and for him to get another injury now or do a soft tissue would really cause his season to virtually be over. So we thought it was let's take, I suppose, the conservative approach and leave him out. This week he'll have to get through today's training, and that will be a real thing for us, whether we pick him at VFL level or not. You probably need to ask Macca and Greg in regards to that decision. I've sort of heard a little bit about it. He's a very good player. Most teams would like him in their forward line. So, but that's something between our management and I suppose something that we'll look at down the track. But if it's not resolved, like all the players we say in the competition, if they can help make us better as a football team, we'll have a look at them, whether it's Travis Cloke or someone else in the competition. So, yeah, I'll leave that to our management to work out that one. See, the thing that because of decisions that are made, because of other people, I think when you sit down and look at what the team needs, and that doesn't change from our point of view when you talk about list management. So I talk about, right here, right now, what would help our team. You have a look at the balance of our list. We do have a lot of tools on our list, but they don't play. So that's a little bit of an issue. So we'll have to have a look at our size and shape, and we do that. We look at where we need to improve as a football team to become a better team next year, as well as right here, right now. So, yeah, they're the things that I put in front of the list management, and then we, as most do, we sit down and make those decisions. Yeah, Jack Riewold's one thing that can make most backlines and coaches think he's very dangerous. I think with Marek and what they've done through their midfield with Martin back last week after his suspension, and Koch and Deludio's through there now, I think that's something that has become a real strength for them. So, when you're kicking the ball long into Riewoldt and then you've got Nahas that's kicking 4 goals last week, I think that's a dangerous combination. And so they're getting a lot of shots at goal. They're playing a really good brand of football and very attacking brand of football. So, that's something that we have to be mindful as well.
This weekend, who do you think Andy Kretzow are going to be more likely, a Cochin or a Martin? Because Martin was obviously quite damaging in this score.
Yeah, he was. He's, and Andy went to him last time too. So Martin's ability to score from a long way out, some of those shots, at 50, 60 and even 65, they're virtually going through half post high. So his ability to hit the scoreboard as well is something that we'll have to watch. But, they've got some midfielders in there that can really open the game up very quickly, especially on their terms. So Deludio and Cochin and Martin are ones that we have to be really mindful. As a collective group, whether Andrew goes to Martin, I think the others are so important for them as well. Yeah, you do play with a little bit of freedom, I think. It's really, that's a really interesting one with, the Y generation and that. Does that help the younger players just play with that freedom, or is it sometimes then a lack of responsibility too that gets thrown out? And that's, I suppose, the coach and the coaching staff to drive that. I said it after the game, I don't think we should shy away from our expectation and the standards at our football club. I think we do probably allow that freedom to come into play a bit, because it does open you up and allow you to do some things that maybe when you're stiff and tight you don't do. But, whether you're young Tom Bell that comes in and plays inside midfielder, his responsibility is, as a Carlton player, whether he's played one game or it's Heath Scotland that's played 240 or 30 games, his responsibility is to go and win inside football, crack in, and if he doesn't, to tackle like mad and play a physical brand of football. So I think it's really important that we allow the players to have some freedom, but not actually throw the responsibility card out or the accountability card out the window. So we're really driving that behind the scenes to make sure we have a responsibility at this football club. Whatever personnel runs out there or who it is, we have expectations of that role and what the club has to do from a team point of view as well, and we won't shy away from that. And especially when I'm coach, I won't change the expectation because of our personnel that's running out there through circumstances. Yep, we've been unlucky through collision injuries. That's something that we can't control, but we can control on the attitude and the way the players go and play. And sometimes some players might not be up to it at that part of their career, but we won't change what we expect from the individuals when they run out there. And that's something that will be driven till the time I'm told no longer required, which is one part of coaching. You're a coach for now, and then you're a past coach at some point as well. No, until mathematically it says. I think time's running out because there's an end point at the season, so we have to keep charging on. But until it is mathematically out of our hands that we can't make it, we'll be ploughing on. And even then, we won't waver with the expectations. That would mean that we'd be setting up for the following year to make sure that we get a benefit through, I suppose, times that haven't gone our way. We'll find some good out of some times of adversity or challenging times. We'll make sure that we get some good out of this season. But while we've got a chance, we're 110% in there, and even then we're still 110%. It just means we can't make it mathematically.